Hi, it's craftytinas. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I added a shaker to my notebook using the We Are Memory Keeper cinch. I used the cinch to punch the holes, add the wires. I also added beads. I made my own covers, and I added watercolor paper on the inside. I have several videos showing you how to make the actual notebooks and how to line up and make the punches and bind the spiral wire. I do have a video showing how to add the beads. So this video is all about the shaker. Now this shaker is a 3" by 3" circle. I found these little, I don't know, I guess they're not templates. They're just little pieces of clear PVC plastic that are used to make the shakers. I bought a multi-pack, so I got 3" circles, 4.5" circles. I got squares, rectangles, and really big rectangles. This came in a set. You get 10 of each of 5 different shapes. Now here's the first one I made. It's really pretty. It's like a big button, but my button press doesn't make 3" buttons, but it's a shaker. I added glitter to this one, and that might be why you see sparkle everywhere, because what I didn't realize was there's tiny little holes all the way around, and this glitter comes out. So I won't be putting glitter in them until I find a way to make sure they're sealed all the way around. I really like this one, so I'm going to use it in a card. I'm just going to put a frame around it to hold this glitter, because when this is shaken, it's really pretty. I just can't shake it because I already have glitter everywhere. So this was my second one I made, and I just put basically a little fairy sticker on a piece of 3" cardstock. I cut the 3" circle using my Silhouette Cameo, but you can use a die or you can even freehand it. But all you need to go with this to make the shaker is score tape, a circle the size of the flat part, not including the tabs, a sticker, and then I added these are clay sprinkles and clay peppermints. I got these in the jewelry section at Hobby Lobby. That's why they're the jewelry shop brand. They are made for resin. This is to be like sprinkled into your resin, put into resin items. But anywhere you can find tiny objects, I even added some seed beads. These are little seed beads. These are also in the jewelry section at Hobby Lobby, and they're tiny little beads. And that's all you basically need to make the shaker. It does give it a really cool effect. If I shake too hard, you won't see anything, but it does shake really well. I was very surprised there was enough room in there for the stuff to move around, but it worked great. So let me show you how to make the shaker to attach to a notebook. Before I start on that, I do want to tell you how I punched the holes and lined up my cover and pages. This book is a 1/4 page, and the cover is the same size as the pages. I didn't make the cover bigger than the pages. I don't normally go to that extreme for a kid's book because it's going to be destroyed anyway. And by using a 1/4 page, I'm saving on chipboard and paper. So in order to make this punch, this is a 5.5" piece of paper and a 5.5" piece of chipboard covered in basically scrapbook paper is all this chipboard is covered in. I only wanted 7 holes. I wanted 7 rings. I wanted space on the top and bottom because I have other ideas for this book, so I wanted to leave that space. In order to make this punch correctly and be in the center, I simply did the slider out to 1 1/4. So you go to the 1 1/4. At this top first line is where you set the marker. Go 1 1/4, and then all of your pages and all of your chipboard simply go against it and all the way to the back. The next thing you need to remember is to pull out 1, push in 2 through 8, and pull out 9, 10, 11, and 12. You want to pull out 1 plus 9 through 12. I'm eventually going to have a guide, some kind of SVG file that you can print out, that is going to be templates of different sizes and where I position them. I am working on this project for you guys. I love making this scrap piece of paper. I practice with it. I fold it in half. I get it to be exactly right before I bring the measurements to you guys. Otherwise, I would just eyeball this, but I do like that it is perfectly even on both sides. So that is how, and I will put that in the comments, that is how I punch the holes for this particular notebook. My other videos, I have some of these templates where I show you other ways to punch the holes to get them in the middle. So let's make the shaker. When you get these, they come with a film on top and bottom. That's why it looks pretty cloudy right now, and it's probably why you can see it really well. Using your fingernail, you are going to take one side off, and once you start it, it comes off really easy. It's just a slight thin covering. Now I have this is ready to go. I want to take my 3-inch circle and add anything I want, or if you have other ideas such as print and cut on your machines and you want to just go ahead and print the image yourself instead of adding a sticker, you can. It's anything you want to get an image. You don't have to put an actual image on here. You could use printed paper or printed cardstock. I just had these little fairy stickers that I've been wanting to use. I made another notebook with fairy stickers as well. So now I have my image, and she's got a little foil on her, so she's pretty cool. Now that I have my image and this side is ready to use, I'm simply going to put her in the center. And then all of these tabs are already scored. They just need to be bent. So you're going to bend them all the way around. And you can do that without the item inside. For me, by putting it inside, it actually gave it an edge, and it did bend much easier. And you go all the way around. Now you're going to want to leave a few, because that's going to be your opening to add all your sprinkles. Now I have to put an adhesive around the circle so these tabs can stick. So we're going to use score tape because it is a very good adhesive that will stick to plastic and stay. So I'm simply going to put multiple pieces all the way around. I guess you could use any kind of adhesive you want. I would recommend something with a paper backing so you can pull it off at your leisure. And I'll show you why. Because when we're adding the sprinkles, we want to be able to not stick the sprinkles to the adhesive. And we go all the way around, not leaving much of a gap anywhere because we don't want anything to get out. And because there is a gap here, I'm just going to remove that. So now what I need to do is I need to remove all of the paper except where we're going to put the sprinkles. Remember, I left some unfolded. I left 4. So I am going to start here. And I'm going to remove all the paper around. Till I get to the ones I'm not folding over, which is about halfway on this one. So I'm going to go ahead and take half of this one off and just kind of leave it. I'm then going to press each one of these tabs one by one onto the adhesive. It's very easy. It just guides you all the way around. You're just going to press one at a time. You can either lay it flat or hold it. And I'm pressing all the way until I get to where I left my opening. And that is where I'm going to put my sprinkles. So they do fly everywhere, so very carefully add however many you want, entirely up to you. One of these packs go a long way because you're only using a few. I'm going to add a few of these peppermints. Probably a little too much, but that's okay. And then I'm going to add some of these. Now I already had these because I have the We Are Memory Keepers button press, which makes shakers. So I have made shakers in the past. And because there's a foam ring in there, it really stands up to allow the shaking movement. So I was skeptical on something flat working, and I have way too many in here. So I'm going to actually just pour some into my hand to get some more out. We'll see how. That looks better. I'm going to move these over to the side. And now that I have them inside, I can take the remaining paper off the adhesive. And now I can one at a time fold these in. And once you do that, make sure they're all stuck down. Your shaker is contained. So shake it a little, tap it a little, because you've made them all go to one end. So, and there you have it. You have this really cute shaker, and they're gonna get stuck here and there, especially if they get, you know, doubled up. But after shaking them a few times, it becomes really clear. Now, in order to add it to your notebook, you are going to want something that sticks really well. So all I did was I added some more score tape to the back. And because these have edges, I don't know if it's necessary, but I taped around the edges, just giving it a nice secure way of sticking to the notebook or to a card. You don't have to use this for notebooks. And then I added some to the middle to hold the weight. They're not heavy, but it isn't a foreign object being attached to a piece of paper. And that's it. All I did was remove the adhesive and pressed it down. It really does give it dimension, and it does shake and sound really good. I didn't expect that from such a flat item, because this is totally flat. There's no dome to it. There's nothing. I will put the link below if you're interested in these. Apparently they come in multiple sizes and shapes, and some of the sets even come with the die, so you can cut the exact size. So let me know what you think about the shaker. I had some more ideas on this, but I just thought this was a really good way to dress up a little girl's scribble drawing notebook. So we have beads, we have 7 wires, and we have our 3-inch shaker. This is a 1/4 inch book. And that is it. Check out my other videos for how to make the notebook, how to add beads, how to add wires, and for other measurements on different size notebooks. That's all we have for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you come back. Make sure you subscribe, and you'll be notified when I do another video. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy crafting!